Hey everybody, we're back and check it out. So's the randomizer. That's regular Eden, Boss Rush, Mega Satan. That's just another day at the office, man. It's all about the good faith effort. I'm getting roasted over maybe not having a good faith effort all the time. Hey, all I can say about what? That hairdo. I mean, obviously I'm also looking at the 1 HP. This could change everything, though. Like, this start is actually pretty good. If you ignore the HP. Book of Sin is pretty good. Nobody knows what the horseshoe does. Let's take this as an opportunity to find out. Plus 15% chance to get an item room on the next floor. You might not believe me on this one, or an extra item room. So it's about a 1 in 6.5 chance to get another item room on the next floor. That's not so bad. But I think we got to take the Eternal Heart just in case we get hit by a champion. This might keep us alive. Things are a bit spicy for sure, but I think we can genuinely get there. So I'm kind of hoping... Okay, it's just going to step. That's fine. I was hoping we could maybe blow up this and get a Spirit Heart protection, but... This run looks more dangerous than it is if we make it out of this floor. And it looks like... I wouldn't say that we've got Boss Rush Mega Satan locked up, but I would say that this is now less dangerous. Anyway, I always make what feels to me internally to be a good faith effort, you know? Maybe in hindsight, when you look at the runs, you know, in retrospect, you go, hey, you know, why would you take... PhD over Mama Mega if you were supposed to make a good faith effort to get the boss rush? That's a good point. You know, you got me on stuff like that, but genuinely, I only notice that stuff in hindsight most of the time. While I'm there in the moment, I'm like, I'm grinding, I'm doing the best that I possibly can. So this is the exact situation for when you want to have a nice donation machine. We've really, like, added 300 coins or something like that in the past few episodes. This is mighty interesting. You definitely coupon right away. And I think we'll even take another stab at this. And I'm not too upset about the way that it worked. Or maybe you might say didn't. Book of Sin is good, but I'm a real believer in the coupon, man. Because you know what the coupon gives us is the ability... Should have gone for the rune, maybe. Because that's only a half battery charge. I don't know if that's the play. But the coupon gives us the ability for cheap stuff from the shop, yes, or free stuff. But also the ability to steal a Devil Deal item from the first deal with the Devil without ruining our Angel chance. It will make it so it's not 100% to get an Angel deal next. And now that I think about it, that might be too much. Because at some point we're going to need to get the key pieces to fight Mega Satan. But, you know, there's also a pretty good chance you could just make that happen on Eddie rooms. But I don't know. I don't know. We'll puzzle it out. We'll play it by ear. Looks like bookworms incoming, which is very nice. And... you know, these are not great books, which is positive and negative. The negative is that great books would be great. The positive is that they might force us to think about how we feel about the coupon, make a painful decision. Instead, I'm just like, nah, I'm feeling good. Now, we probably don't need that much money because we got the coupon, but one bomb for very good chance of 5 cents and a very bad chance at like an all stats up is solid enough in my world. Anyway, we're off to the races now. How we doing? On the run, so far so good. Can't really afford to slow down too much because, you know, getting the boss rush is tricky. But Daddy Longlegs is like a truly enormous help. I am going to go to our curse room. I'm willing to give it a chance. Why? Oh, you know what? We have... oh, that's the item we started with was... when you take damage, it opens doors, right? So it opened our secret room door here. And also revealed part of the map. I forget, like, it's an angel item, right? But it looks like Genesis, but is kind of poopy. Cracked orb or something like that. I don't know. It's one of those items, like, if they had put this in the game in 2014, I wouldn't have learned what it did until 2021. Unfortunately. Hey, okay. Hey, also good, Juicy Sack. I don't know, does that... I could have looked at it for longer, but hey, we gotta make a good faith effort to get the boss rush, you know? Does it go into the spider transformation for us? Because we're kind of, like, you know, starting to get there. Well, I don't know why that was half price after we walked in. It's exactly what I wanted to see. Now I realize I'm stupid, though, because we won't be able to use our coupon for our devil deal. But maybe that's okay. Because I really do, and this is, you know, all of a sudden I've made my decision for myself, but if we're going to do boss rush, the most reliable, or if we're going to do Mega Satan, the most reliable way to get there is definitely getting angel deals. And the most reliable way to get at least an angel deal is skip the first devil deal. So I can live with this. If we get a battery charge here, though, all bets are off. We didn't. Let's just head down. This is the right way to play this, I think, for now. The other thing is you might think you blew it, but actually, because we have the coupon, we can now... Well, like, the next deal will be a deal with the angel. That's great news. However, the deal after that could be... Alrighty. Could be a deal with the devil. And if it's a deal with the devil, when you walk in for that one, you face no penalty, at which point you could then use your coupon and steal the deal for free while maintaining an angel precedent. So there you go. That's the PhD thesis of Isaac. How am I doing on a personal level? I'm doing well, thank you for asking. It's still Monday morning, still pretty early over here. Having a good time. That's all I gotta say. I love having a morning where I can really sink my teeth into Isaac. I've been playing a lot of Slay the Spire as well. Like this weekend, I didn't get a whole lot of video gaming, as the kids are calling it. I am stupid. I didn't get a whole lot of video gaming in, but the gaming I did get, I mean, I'm fully, like, invested in Slay the Spire again. Not to a dangerous degree, because I actually think, like, as long as we're talking, like, video games, Slay the Spire might be a game that actually, like, makes you a smarter person. I'm going maybe a little bit overly positive there, but, like, did I say a better person? I mean, based on the YouTube comments from the old series. The new ones, it's going gangbusters. People are treating me with kid gloves and being extremely nice, which is all I've ever wanted, is to create a hug box, where any criticism of me is, you know, met with the Hiya! That's the sound of me hitting the reply button and then typing in a sarcastic response. But it certainly, I think it, you know, makes you better at puzzling arithmetic, if that makes sense. But I've been playing a little bit of that on the PC. I've been playing a little bit of that on the Switch. I've been playing a little bit of that on the Xbox Series X with Game Pass. It's both a problem and a solution to Slay the Spire, the cause of and solution to all of life's problems. I think. Now, again, you're like, good faith effort, good faith effort. So far, this is still a good faith effort. We're not going too slow. Why would you place this at the door? I'm asking myself, by the way. He did it! That's perfect timing. Saved. Oh, look at that! You know, we can see the red room. I don't know if we can get there. Like, if we got an IV bag, could we get there by just self-hurting? I mean, I guess we could use bombs to blow ourselves up. It seems a little bit, stupid. Let's not say stupid. Let's say high risk. So I don't think Bird's Eye, like, it doesn't scale with luck. Ghost Pepper's the dream, but Bird's Eye, hey, when it works, it works. We don't really want to use this. Although, I will say Sharp... You know what? Sharp Plug, actually totally justifiable. To be able to use HP to generate free items on a deal with the devil might actually come in handy, and it costs us almost nothing. Just a little bit of money, like Marge Gunderson said. So I don't know. Again, if we get IV bag, perhaps there is a world in which somehow we get to that super secret room. I don't care to be out of this floor until about, you know, if we're talking about boss rush, being out of here by 10 minutes is about where we want to be, as long as we're investing in ourselves. I'm a happy individual. Having the coupon and sharp plug means we can afford to spend a little bit of our money for alternative uses here. I've been told that the legends have told that this individual can pay out with Rotten Baby. I am just being honest with you, and I'm not upset. It's an actually good item that we've seen very rarely lately. I'm realizing only now. But I think it's the first time I've ever played a Rotten Baby enough for a payout to happen. And I think we got a pretty good deal there. I do. So what are we looking for? If you're the viewer, you need a logical through line. What are we looking for on this run? What's the storyline? Angel deal? Odds not beaten. Now we are at 10 minutes. But there's other plays to be made here, and for good reason. You can still... Let's go! You can leverage what you got in order to get to where you want to be. So I don't think this is going to work. But will this open a door for us to a red room? It did not. Okay. In that case, we'll just take our money. We'll be happy to leave and get out of here. I definitely think boss rush is super likely. I think it's on the horizon. Either way, very nice. I gotta tell you, by the way, I meant to talk about it last episode, but I actually laughed until I cried this weekend, which is, I think, the first time that's happened in probably, like, at least months. It does happen to me on the regular. I'm not gonna say, like, it's a rare occurrence. Happens on stream sometimes. Something will happen that just, it tickles me the right way, but Kate was showing me, like, a few weeks ago, she showed me that there was this Korean show, 10 years ago or something like that. And the general gist of it was, like, people would send in questions about animals, and then they would test it. But the questions were not like, what does a penguin eat? The questions were like, the classic example that I think I used was like, how would a chimpanzee react if it was watching the movie King Kong? Like, would it get emotional? Would it get scared? And the answer is a little bit. It definitely got emotionally activated, and it also tore up all the upholstery and ate all the snacks that they had in like less than a couple of minutes. Like, it was madness. But she saved me a few videos that she had found, because she watches some Korean YouTube. And I'm so thankful she saved them for me, to watch with me, I should say, of a standalone show. What is wrong with my shops, man? A standalone show where that same chimpanzee, who I guess was a fan favorite, does normal human stuff, and then they just film it. So there was one episode where they take the chimpanzee to like a farming community, and it helps the farmers like pull sweet potatoes out of the ground and stuff like that, and they're celebrating Chuseok, which is like a extremely significant South Korean holiday. So they're making rice cakes, and it's pretty funny. That one's decent, because you do have to remember, and we're probably gonna play that, but just give it a second here. A chimpanzee is very strong, and by the way, it might be an orangutan. I'm not a primatologist, and I know it's amazing. I'm not suggesting that they're not incredible creatures, because they really are. Like, there was one where they took the chimpanzee or the orangutan to a jjimjilbang, which is like a spa, and it's like almost human. Like, it's chilling in the sauna. It's like, sitting in massage chairs and stuff like that. I mean, that's what makes it compelling, is that it's like human beings, you know, for obvious reasons, but, like, it's not like looking at a dolphin, right? Like, when you look at a dolphin, you're not like, oh, we have a shared, like, mammalian heritage or something like that. When you look at a chimpanzee, I'm like, that's my guy. I'm like, if I know this is not how evolution works, I'm merely making a joke, but I'm like, I can see shades of myself in there, you know? When it goes into the sauna, and the sauna is way too freaking hot, and then it runs out going, like, I'm like, that's me. But, you know, the funniest one, because the farmer one, like, the farmers were starting to get a little upset with the chimpanzee, and I was kind of like, what do you expect, you know? Like, they gave it a pitcher of water to pour everybody some water, and then it spilled the water, and they kind of, like, flicked it on the top of his head, and I was like, hey, man, it's an animal, you know? Like, what... You don't give, like, a little baby, like, a pitcher of water, expect it to pour you some drinks, and then when it doesn't, you know, like, smack them on the top of the head. I'm not sure it's animal cruelty necessarily, but it's at least over the line. But anyway, the funniest one, they sent it to kindergarten. And it's just such a... You would think that it's from, like, a different time, but I think legitimately it's from, like, 2007. So, you know, if you were in kindergarten in 2007, I think you're, like, 19 now. So it's pretty contemporary, honestly, unless you're so young that seems like it's, you know, ancient history. Either way, well, there's our secret rooms. And remember, we're making a good faith effort for boss rush, and I'm realizing now we're going way too slow. So we're not going to go to the second secret room, and we're going to play the crap out of the Eddie room right now. Right now. Very fast, because we're actually like a floor behind schedule now. I got lost in the banter sauce. Don't be mad. I got lost in the banter sauce. It happens. Banter sauce. Banter sauce. That's not what you want to see. Thank you. Troll bombs. Don't blow me up. Grab. Angel statue. Leave. 30 cents. Wow. Wow. Well, look, I've had some great runs lately. I'm just leaving that one. I've had some great runs lately. I'm not complaining about the runs. Baby's got the runs. Remember that? The Radiohead? However, what I am... Oh, I can't even pick that one up. That's a bit of a problem. However, what I am complaining about is... played a lot of Eddie rooms that have not manifested... Hey, that's pretty good. Thank you. Have not manifested themselves into 7 Spirit Hearts, which you'd think would happen 50% of the time, but variance is really... It's working us over right now. So we may not get to boss rush. I'm just being honest with you. We got 3.5 minutes. It might be too late to make that pivot, but I'm gonna try. Just throwing it out there that, like, this is kind of where, you know, having gotten a deal with the Angel on either our 33 or our 66% chance would have been good. But anyway, so they send the chimpanzee to kindergarten, right? And it does some sports stuff with the kids. And, you know, the whole time I'm watching, I'm I'm getting a little upset. Because I'm like, if they structured this right, that was super close. Like, they did a tug of war where there were, like, 10 kindergartners on one side and 10 kindergartners on the other side. And then they played rock, paper, scissors, right? And whoever won got to have the chimpanzee on their team. And I'm like, you can't have this chimpanzee do this. It's gonna rip some kid's arms off or something. Like, this is gonna be like a lawsuit waiting to happen. I'm just saying, like, if I'm sending my daughter to kindergarten and they're like, oh, at sports day this year, we're gonna have a chimpanzee join us. Like, that's where I'm like, you're staying home for a day. I'll homeschool you for a day. It just seems a little bit dangerous, right? I mean, it's a wild animal. It's like trained, but at the same time, it's a wild animal. Like, you're playing with fire, right? Haven't you seen King Kong? 'Twas beauty that killed the beast. You don't try to restrain nature's fury. But then, like, so they got the chimpanzee doing the tug of war, but then it just sort of like is hanging on the rope. Like, it's not even pulling. And then I started to get mad because I was like, I'm not going to say I wanted to see some kid's arm get pulled off, but, you know, I expected this chimpanzee to single-handedly, like, you know, just basically, like, dunk on the other team full of kindergartners. But That's not the way it went down, because the chimpanzee didn't really understand the rules. But then they eat lunch together, and that's like, it's a golden moment. The chimpanzee's just sitting at the lunch table with the other students. Hold on, just let me see what's in here. A good shop. Look at that, a good shop. And I don't know how spicy. What did I get hit? What did I get hit by? I don't think I want to get spicy at all, honestly. I guess we'll take this for now. And then we'll get the heck out of town. Maybe we'll take a pill. Oh, we shouldn't. We shouldn't. It's a little too dangerous right now. Anyway, it steals some of the other kids' bulgogi. And he's in kindergarten, right? So he kind of mocks the chimpanzee. He goes like, eh. And then the chimpanzee literally just lifts up his lunch tray and drinks the soup from it, like no spoon or nothing. Just goes straight into it, and then he starts to cry, and then the chimpanzee puts the tray down, and he like tries to run away. The chimpanzee tries to run away, that is. Okay, I guess I'll die then. But he knocks over the tray with his head in the process, and then it creates like a huge mess. It's so good. I retweeted the video. Kate linked it to me on Twitter. But I retweeted it. Oh, man. So we gotta be honest here. We're not gonna make Boss Rush short of Mega Mush, and, you know, stop me if you've heard this one before. Excuses. You gotta remember, like, and this is not just in my own defense, but it's partly in my own defense for certain. Repentance has slowed the game down, and it's for the best. Like, Boss Rush is fine. You know, when the mood strikes you, it's a fun time. You know what I'm starting to think? It's like we've had such a terrible track record of making it to Boss Rush. I think we would compromise the quality of the runs by rushing more than we already are. And I also don't want to exclusively be like, oh, sorry, can't banter, because, help. Can't banter, because Boss Rush is, coming. So instead, I think it might just be wise to, like, take the optional objectives that are time-gated out of the equation. I wanted to keep them in with some rarity associated, just because there'd be some variety, but, you know, you try things, they don't necessarily work the way you expected, you tweak them, and eventually you get somewhere. In order to be able to fight Mega Satan, which is also a little up in the air, we definitely gotta compromise a little bit on this one, which is fine. Anyway, so that's what made me laugh till I cried. Sincerely. When he stole the kid's soup, man, and the kid starts crying. As a former teacher, I'm like, I get to, it happens a lot, you know. You'll have a kid that's like, you know, there's like a dispute, and usually not between a child and a chimpanzee, usually between two students. And then like one of the kids is like, I'm not phased, and then they get phased and they start to cry, and you're like, you know, you're sympathetic, but you're also like, it's funny. Not because a kid is crying, but because, you know, you're like, oh, one day you're going to be an adult. And it's funny to think of the fact that right now you're crying over, you know, some soup. that a zoo animal stole. But I digress. Anyway, yeah, that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. And I'm thinking about the bagel that I'm going to eat a little later today. Oh, man, maybe at the conclusion of this video, or after the conclusion of this video. I've been experimenting with some breakfast pastries lately. What would I say is my favorite? I mean, it's tough, okay? My palate is constantly evolving. Like, this is why, and again, I sometimes I'm needlessly antagonistic with this verbiage, but I really do recommend, if you're like a picky eater and you don't try foods that you think you don't like now and then, I really recommend trying them. Not like to the extent that you like I would make you not enjoy, like, you know, every meal or something like that, but you know, if you think you don't like mushrooms, once every year, once every 6 months, just take a bite of one. You know, it's not going to kill you unless you've got an allergy, in which case I obviously wasn't talking about you, so like, why are you trying to make it about you? I say it as someone who has been there. My palate as a child was all messed up. Can I tell you that in all sincerity, with God as my witness, as a child, I didn't like croissants. Do you know why I didn't like croissants? They didn't, well, a couple of reasons. They didn't taste like anything I'd ever consumed, bread-wise, in my entire life, which was largely just foot-long Subway sandwich baguettes and then, you know, Wonder Bread with cold butter on it. So there's the, like, the factor of them being a little bit, and it's funny because I wouldn't say they taste bland, but they have a very, like, non-challenging taste, you know, a croissant. It's just buttery and a little sweet and, you know, fluffy and blah, blah, blah. But the stapler, I don't even know where it came from. I'm assuming it's, like, maybe from Buc-ee or something like that, but I'll take it, man. Or maybe we just had maybe mom hit a tinted rock that had a chest that became stapler. Either way, it's an incredible stroke of luck. Give me some damage. Give me some HP. I gotta tell you, maybe it's close, but I kind of feel like holy water wins this, and you know that's unusual for me to say. But yeah, I think there's like a couple of reasons you don't enjoy foods when you're a child, right? Like one of them is your I could use some keys, honestly. One of them is that if something tastes a little bit different, not even unusual, but unusual to you, I think you're like, I don't know how to interpret this. And you go, I don't like it. Give me the thing that I'm used to having. And then another reason is, you know, at least for me as a child, my palate was so, you know, blown out on these extreme flavors from, like, you know, Doritos and drinking a liter of, like, you know, mango juice from concentrate every single day and stuff like that. Like, unless something was cranked up to, like, 500 on the flavor factor, like, I couldn't appreciate it at all, right? Now that I'm getting a little older, I'm experimenting a little bit more with, I mean, not that this is the first time for it, but I always like to think, you know, like, what do I actually, and this is a commonly recurring, help. I'm kind of a genius and kind of an idiot, but look at that, free range upgrade, kind of. I always like to think, like, when I say something is like my, oh, you know, bagels are my favorite breakfast pastry. Am I saying that because they actually taste the best, or am I saying that because ever since I was a child, I was like, oh, a bagel with cream cheese, ideal breakfast, you know? Am I examining the actual enjoyment that I had from this food item, or am I simply searching my brain for the answer to a question as if it's from, like, recall instead of actual analysis? You gotta check, man. You always gotta check. I'm never gonna cry about that. You gotta check. Whoa! Wow. He's going off, huh? Infested. Give me the strength card. But yeah, I had some English muffins. I don't have an opinion on English muffins, really. I like them okay. I think they're a superior bread for a breakfast sandwich. An English muffin might make my breakfast sandwich. I know croissant sandwiches are in vogue. I know breakfast burritos are very popular. I must admit that I like all of those, don't get me wrong. Look. How could I not? How could I not? Even though active contrition is great, this actually, it forces us to go up, which is fine. Oh, no, it doesn't. No, it's not fine, because we have the negative. Oh, that stinks. I always get Genesis confused thinking it's also like R key, but it's not. We will be stuck with the negative, and then only being able to go up will screw the run up. I wish that that's not how it worked, but it totally is. And Nose Goblin is just a dream come true. Because it removes the portal. I wish we could have, but you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. But yeah, in spite of the popularity of a bagel sandwich or a breakfast burrito, I'll always take a standard McMuffin style breakfast sandwich over either of them. I'm okay being Bobby Basic. Or Bobby Bottle Service, for that matter. I got no problem being the guy who says, yeah, give me some yellow mustard on that. And then I see at Subway, the sandwich artist reaches for the smoky honey mustard because of the fact that I'm sure that everybody that goes there is like, I didn't come here to get some basic mustard. I got that at home. Give me that smoky honey mustard. But I'm an adherent to sandwich purity in the sense that if I think yellow mustard would serve the sandwich better, I'm not trying to beat the restaurant. Give me the yellow mustard. Are there some sandwiches where a smoky honey mustard might be a little bit more applicable and thus worth the extra 70 calories to add on to like a 1,400 calorie sandwich? Yeah, man, probably. Doubtlessly. I'm going for it, man. I don't care. One makes you larger. 48-hour energy. Neither really that useful. Hey, we are going to get Mega Satan done on this run, though. Or at least we're going to, you know, have the opportunity to get into the fight. How about that? Catch Me Outside, how about that? Remember that? That was a saga. I remember, I think that's where I thought that, we as a society couldn't get any stupider. And now I realize how naive I was. It turns out those were actually like halcyon days for intellectualism compared to where we're at now. Who would have thought? Anyway, on that troubling thought, let's move on. But yeah, I got some everything bagels. I mean, it's just, if we're talking bagels, I don't even know why they make plain bagels and whole wheat bagels. Yes, look, if you're gonna say you pronounce it weird, like, did you not do the required reading before watching this episode? We've been down. Can we just talk about bagels without it getting bogged down for 10 minutes in, oh, you pronounce it weird? We've been there, yes. Some places in my country have milk with bags, and some places in your country you can buy, like, a gun in Walmart, you know? Every country's got some strange things going on. Whether it be the method of delivery for cow breast milk or, you know, various other things. Can I tell you, I was watching a YouTube food review of the gas station slash restaurant slash supermarket known as Buc-ee's in America. And I gotta tell you, like, it was just ticking me off, man. First off, as we go down here, everything looked great. That's not part of the issue, okay? Pulled pork sandwich, cod fillet sandwich, brisket looked good. It all looked fantastic, okay? What annoyed me was the price. And you're gonna think that this is ridiculous, but I'm gonna... You could take this out of context. It actually doesn't even sound that good for me in context, quite frankly. What? Was it black rune? I didn't know you could get black rune out of blank rune. You can't black rune a blank rune. You can't put cucumber on a pizza. Anyway, the Buc-ee stuff, first off, it made me mad because I got a little jealous. I was like, if you eat at a gas station here, some of them have like a Subway or something built in, but I don't think Canada really has a chain like a Buc-ee's or a Wawa or a Sheetz or something like that. I think it's, you know, basically you just like get gas and then you eat and then you get gas, if you know what I mean. It's where you go for a Coke Zero or some potato chips or something like that. It's not really a place where you would dine unless you were either getting snacks or you had no other option in the moment, like you're on a road trip, for example. Whereas, you know, Buc-ee's seemed like destination going. Like, you would go there to eat, and then like, oh, well, we're here. Should we get some gas? I suppose. How delightful. I forgot it was a gas station. The thing that annoyed me the most, though, was the price. And not for the reason that you might think. Like, a pulled pork burrito was large. Is, you know, probably like I bet it was like 1,000-calorie burrito. Was $3.99. What's wrong? Isn't that a great price? Yeah, but it's so great that I don't know if you realize that it becomes like an intellectual, like, rhetorical poison for everybody that doesn't live in Texas. Like, sure, you're getting a cheap sandwich, but everybody that doesn't have a Buc-ee's around them now has to deal with, like, you know, hey, I got a burrito yesterday. How much was it? Oh, it was like $9.45. $9.45? I could drive down the street to go to Buc-ee's. For only a 75-mile drive, I can get to Buc-ee's and I can get a pulled pork sandwich for... I could get 3 pulled pork sandwiches for that price. Are you crazy? Like, Buc-ee's, you're really making it hard for people in, like, other cities and other parts of the world to talk about the food that they eat without being bogged down by text and minutia about the economics of it. I think you have a moral responsibility to raise your prices a little bit, just to make things easier on us on the coast, okay? Obviously, I'm being facetious. Mostly, I was just jealous and trying to find a good reason to be like, no, I'm not jealous. It's the Buc-ee's that's wrong. It looked delicious, though, man. Anyone ever booked a flight to Texas just to go to a gas station? We don't really have that here. It got me a little upset. I'm not gonna deny it. Oh, and we just have to fight Mega Satan, right? So we're good. We're good, man. This run's over? Only in repentance is and forget Mom's knife, man. Only in repentance do you say forget Mom's knife and then have your fastest run by fighting Mega Satan. I gotta admit, +7 damage, kind of sick. I didn't say no to Mom's knife because I wanted to, be hard or whatever. I said no to Mom's knife because I actually think, like, Incubus, Bird's Eye, Huge Growth is like it's kind of a sick combo here. Not to mention the fires, and Booker Tears for sure, but the fires from Bird's Eye also break shots, which is really good for bullet hell. I'm starting to feel like the parts of my brain switch on that need to switch on in order for us to have like a legitimate streak. Now, we are also taking some damage here. I think I stepped on the same creep twice, maybe. But I'm still feeling mighty confident. It's the same, like, I know I've been down this road before. And I don't think this person was necessarily being rude, but the way they phrased it was like that casual internet rudeness. I've been talking about how I want to see the movie Green Knight, and then A24 they're doing a one night only digital streaming thing, which is look, you got to play the game. I understand, you got to keep the theaters happy, you got to keep your investors happy or whatever. So even though you got like the .mp4 file there that you could just sell me, instead you've got to create like a artificial scarcity. And by gotta, I guess I don't mean literally gotta, but you get the idea. But first off, it's on a Wednesday, which is kind of like a slap in the face. And it's only from like 9 p.m. until 1 a.m. Eastern Time, which is a little bit of a slap in the face. It's only in the United States of America, which is kind of a slap in the face. And then it's like, this guy's probably toasted. It's $25. And I got on him a little bit. I didn't sick the dogs on him. I didn't cyberbully him or anything. But I was like, on a Wednesday, really? And then one night only on a Wednesday. Tell me you are doing some the producers type stuff where you want it to fail without, hey, we tried it and it didn't make us any money. We did it on a Wednesday at 7 a.m. Nobody showed up. And then somebody said, I'll never understand this trend of people paying double the price of a movie ticket to watch a movie at home. And I was just like, can I help you understand it? It cost me 2 movie tickets to go to the movie because I got 2 people, myself and my wife. I'm not even trying to dunk you, but double the price of a single movie ticket to watch a movie at home, you start to get into a situation where the economics make sense. I mean, just going to the movies for my wife and myself, 2 tickets plus parking is like, $40. So $25 to see a movie at home. I can pause it and go to the bathroom. It's kind of nice, I gotta say. But anyway, not to dunk. Hey, he might, I don't know, just not go to the movies with his wife. Maybe that's his time. Or his husband. Anyway, for now, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. And we're going to definitely fit in one more this morning. We're cruising. Jungle Cruise. In theaters now. See you then.